Day, live from the Civic Arena. It's the Western Division leading San Diego Sockers against our Pittsburgh Spirit.
Spirit Soccer is brought to you by Stroh's and Stroh Light, fire brewed for smoother taste. By Burger King, where you get those juicy flame-broiled burgers that are never fried. Aren't you hungry for Burger King now? By Mellon Bank, a neighbor you can count on. Member FDIC. By Thrift Drug, the R experts, where you get R extra service. And by Cameron Coca-Cola. Coke is it.
Live from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, it's the Pittsburgh Spirit against the San Diego Sockers in MISL Soccer. A very pleasant good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Sanders. This is John Paul Della Camera. We get set for the Sockers and the Spirit. The Spirit have never defeated the San Diego Sockers, who come in here with a high score by the name of Steve Jungle, the MISL's all-time leading scorer. But we have to talk first of all about the Spirit's all-time leading scorer, Stan Terlecki. It has been a wild, wild week, hasn't it?
Well, John, the Spirit did make a lot of news this week, and whether you agree with the situation or not, Stan Terlecki remains in limbo. The fact remains, though, that for the Pittsburgh Spirit, without Stan, they are 1-2, but playing a much better style of play similar to last year, where they're winning games more or being in games more because of their defensive skills rather than their offensive skills. The players seem to feel better about it. We've seen several quotes in the newspapers, but the bottom line is still that they must win.
And at halftime of today's game, we'll talk more about Stan Terlecki with Dave Mackenzie. And as John Paul said, regardless of which side of that issue you stand, what we have to do is regroup and get going for the rest of the season. The Spirit, 8 games out of first place. They've got to get something going, and you talk about high scores. We're going to see Steve Jungle this afternoon.
I don't know how well we're going to see him, but Adam Topolsky is going to be marking him, John, and in the last, let's say, 3 games that Adam has had a top-notch assignment marking Jungle or Julie V, he's pretty much kept them off the board, so it could be a good matchup this afternoon.
It's the Spirit and the San Diego Sockers coming up live from the Civic Arena. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Official out on the field. Art Hunter's in the box. Our contestant in our Giant Eagle goal-getter contest, who might win $100 in groceries, is Helen Danko of Pittsburgh, and she has chosen Marcio Leite. So good luck to you, Helen. We'll see if Marcio can put any food on the table for you. We're underway. San Diego, the visiting team, gets the opening kickoff in the first and third quarter, so they will start it off. It's back to Zoltan Toth. You may remember him from the New York Arrows championship days when he and Chet Messing alternated. O'Hara will get it from Sibbies as Pittsburgh breaks up the attack. Adam Topolsky with it on the right side to John O'Hara. Johnny from 60 feet cuts inside, and Jungle takes a low shot, but it's right at Zoltan Toth. The key for Pittsburgh today, if they do lose the ball, John, everybody must come back. San Diego's offense is spectacular.
Earhart Cap returning to action on Friday. He was out for a while with a broken bone around his left eye, and Z Capco maybe trying it today. He's missed the last 10 games with a knee injury. We hope that he can get back there soon. Still playing without Grego Stavcek and still slowed a little bit. The Spirit definitely have had some injury problems.
Only 2 players, Dave Mackenzie and Ian Sibbies, have played in every single game this season. And your guest at halftime is Dave Mackenzie, so we'll be talking with Mac a little bit later on as George Tiger tries to play it. Wilrich and Jungle break him up. Tiger fights to win it back. Topolsky moves in and a good read. Adam poking it ahead. Left wing. In the corner, a little bit deep. Looking for some help. Lays it out, or tries to, for George Tiger, broken up by Dana. Left side to Steve Jungle, the Lord of all indoors, as they call him. Cuts it to the left. Wilrich shooting up the boards. Mavla came in just in time. Jungle wanted that rebound. Good roll to Charlie Green, using his speed upfield over midfield. Green looking to lead Tiger. Tiger will get to it on the left. Off the boards. Knocked down by Sibbies, but right at Zoltan Toth. There's that long pass, but Topolsky has it covered. Well read by Adam, who has a tough assignment tonight. To Sibbies. Back towards Topolsky, cut off by Namdar, who has the distinction of being called Cha-Cha. I mean, no matter how many years this league goes, he'll probably be an original with that name.
Guy Newman is missing for San Diego this afternoon. Eddie Coker also on the sidelines, and Paulo Mora. All are hurt, not dressed for the game this afternoon.
Daly broken up by 3, 4 on 3 now. Played over the left side. Jungle will shoot it. Mobley makes the save of the game to this point to keep this one tied at 0. Ian Sibby's from Green. Lead ball for Charlie. Free in the box. Score! Charlie Green. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh. On a great feed from Ian Sibby's.
The goal comes at 6:02. Sibby set him up. Green gets the goal, and Charlie picks up his 7th of the year. Let's take another look at it. Got a good run. Look at Charlie. That's the key. He kept going, John Paul. Freed himself. Waited just a second until the goalkeeper committed himself. Toth went down, and the ball went in.
Pittsburgh using Charlie Green's speed to its advantage more than they have in the past. We're seeing a lot more plays develop off of the boards, running into open space, such as he did right there, and that was the key, as John Sanders mentioned. He kept running, so he drew some attention away from Sibby's, and Sibby's just made a nice lead ball to Charlie that he ran onto, and Zoltan Toth didn't have much he could do with that. So Pittsburgh will take a 1-0 lead on Charlie Green's 7th of the year for Ian Sibby's at 6:02, and I think it's important the way this game was starting out for Pittsburgh to try and get on that board first. They've had some problems in coming from behind.
The second half has been a problem for the Pittsburgh Spirit. They played well in several cases, had shutouts in the first half, only to see it go down the drain in the second half. We'll see what happens this afternoon. Sibby's, by the way, picks up his 12th assist of the year. He now has 29 points.
Bronco Segota coming back the other way, holding it for San Diego. Topolsky won't let him by, but look at the second effort by Segota, broken up by some support from Dave Hagen. Lead ball up the left wing for Childs.
Segota wanted a call that time, did not get it from the official, wanted a foul call.
That was a nice play. Hagen tucking it away from Wilrich. 1-0 Pittsburgh. 8:17 to go in the quarter. Back for Hagen. Near side to Marr. Kevin's shot just missing far wing. So nice teamwork, though, as Child looks to set up again. In a box for Hagen, deflected out by the Sockers, and here they come. 3 men on 3 on the attack. Segota keying it. Bronco against Topolsky. Great cut to the left. Shooting it, not enough on it. Kevin Marr is able to flick it away. San Diego almost gets it back. Vosmeyer chopped down, and we've got a foul. And a penalty back. That's right. That's even better, right?
That's something very rare. You don't see that often.
It's 1-0 Pittsburgh. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirits. Quarter, 1-0 Pittsburgh leading it. Hagen cuts to his right, cuts back to his left side, has a tackle away for the moment. Hustles to get it back. Plays it to Sibby's, back out to Vosmeyer. Minute 25 in the power play. Pittsburgh without a shot for the opening part of it. Right wing boards, Adam Topolsky. Back for Vosmeyer. Quickly to Hagen on the left. Has to settle it. Sends one in, a score off of Gary Collier. 2-0 Pittsburgh, and they'll take it.
Exactly right. Comes at 7:55. Hagen will get credit. He keeps the streak alive, his scoring streak, as Hagen picks it up. Watch him take the lead from Vosmeyer. It looks like kind of a routine shot, but it will squirt off of a San Diego player and into the net.
Right off of Gary Collier to give Pittsburgh a 2-0 lead on the power play. Here we see it again. Watch Collier. He's backing into goal with the beard off his right leg and in short side. So give it to Hagen. Vosmeyer the assist. That is Hagen's 17th goal of the year, and he has now scored in 10 straight. Look at this header off the crossbar after Brian Quinn almost brings San Diego back. Here they come again with it. A shot blocked by Peter Marr. Side for Ian Sibby's. Knocking it back for Green. Charlie holding it. In trouble, so he's going to do just what the doctor ordered last year. Right back to the goalkeeper. Malvik now sending it upfield, but Clavillo with the header clears it back. Mackenzie got a piece of that. Perez gets the rest. 2-0 Spirit leading it. 2 minutes straight up remaining in this, the opening quarter. Clavillo with the ball on the left wing. Plays it to Segota. A brilliant one-on-one player, Segota. Left side to Brian Quinn, knocking it for Perez. Mackenzie says no to that and clears it downfield. One score from out of town already. Baltimore leads Wichita 4-1. That is in the 3rd quarter. Baltimore red hot at the start of the year. Same with the Chicago Sting, who defeated Los Angeles last night in the only MISL game played. Ball cleared back now to Zoltan Toth. He has to win it. He does, but it's deflected into the seats, and it will be Pittsburgh's ball. We can tell you that this broadcast is intended for the private use of our viewing audience, and any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Civic Arena Corporation and the Pittsburgh Spirit is prohibited. If I'd known I would have had that much time, I would have read it slower.
You read it well, though, John Paul. That's what counts.
2-0 Pittsburgh leading it over San Diego. 1:31 to go. First quarter. Played over to Bob Vosmeyer from Mackenzie. Bobby trying to cut to the inside. Pass is deflected. Green will win it. Leads for Sibby's. Look out. But it was broken up from behind by Schmetzer, who may have saved the goal. San Diego in trouble. Tackle away. Green to Sibby's. Ian wants to give it back. Can't. Goes forward. Broken up by Toth. Vosmeyer trying to win it. It's deflected out of play, but some good pressure, John, that Pittsburgh put on.
Good offensive pressure that time. They kept the heat on. Some fan before the game asking me why we're televising all these home games. We have televised a couple of home games, but our schedule is going to start to pick up now. Next week we'll be televising from Baltimore, and wait till we get to March. I believe there's a goal.
Look at that. Sibby's from Mackenzie. San Diego's got to be thinking about this because part of the pregame strategy was for Pittsburgh, even though they got to come back defensively, they wanted to control it offensively, and I can't remember San Diego trailing 3-0 early in a game like this.
Good feed. That same offensive pressure John Paul stayed on. Mackenzie with a good move to free the ball. The net's open for Ian Sibby's.
That's a big goal for Pittsburgh because they get it at the 13:52 mark, which means only 1 minute and 8 were left. Look at this effort, though, from Mackenzie. He's going down to make that play, but he saw Sibby's open. And for Ian Sibby's, goal number 18, and after a slow start, Ian Sibby's is back. Ball broken up now by Kevin Marr for Child. This is as good as an opening quarter as we've seen Pittsburgh play this season.
You're exactly right. Green, Hagen, and Sibby's getting the goals, and the goals all the result of hard work, especially the last one. Good offensive pressure from Green, Sibby's, Mackenzie, who set it up on that play.
But they got to keep it up. They do here with Child for Hagen. David busting through, broken up, Toth kicking it away on the right wing side. On the run, Cha-Cha Namdar. Run at from behind by Hagen. Pittsburgh has to be careful. That's not a good foul to take. There's not much time left, but that gives Pittsburgh 4 1/4.
Well, if you think San Diego can't come back, you're wrong, because they're averaging over 6 goals a game.
That's why I say Pittsburgh must continue, especially against this team. On the right side, Namdar shooting it, missing everything. To the far wing it goes. Malvik did a nice job of trying to cut down the angle. Topolsky back to Peter Malvik. Safe play there. Peter rolls it left side for John O'Hara on the run. Down to 15 seconds in the quarter for Dave Hagen. Good reverse. They're using all of the field today. Right side to Polsky. That stretches out a defense. Gets by Dana. 5 seconds left. Shot wide off the boards. Child will go for it. This team should get a nice ovation as the horn sounds, and they do. That's it for the first quarter. A brilliantly played opening 15 minutes by the Pittsburgh Spirit. They lead 3-0. Stay with us. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Feed from Toth. Now it's Hagen feeding Child. Back to Hagen. Can't get to it. Taken away by Brian Quinn.
That's the right idea, though. A great setup. The ball just a little bit off the mark.
Quinn is free in front, and he scores. Quinn got the pass from Segota, and the Sockers are on the board.
Well, the one thing that Pittsburgh didn't want to do was give up a goal like that. They talked about it earlier. Everybody come back. They had 2 players trapped upfield at least, and watch this play. Segota with his right foot touching it. Quinn sees where this ball is coming and was able to get that shot by Peter Malvik, who came out as far as he could in trying to cut down that angle. That's a big goal for San Diego because they have not been really in this game thanks to Pittsburgh. Look at the quick turnaround. You've got to know where the net is at that point because you don't have a lot of time to shoot it.
A beautiful feed. Quinn picks up his 11th goal of the year. Segota picks up his 19th assist, and Segota now has 42 points. He is one of 4 players on this team with more than 40 points in scoring so far. But at that point, it was a gamble they felt they had to take. We have played 1 half here in the Civic Arena. It's the Pittsburgh Spirit 3, the San Diego Sockers 1. We'll be back. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. John Paul Della Camera. An interesting first half of the Pittsburgh Spirit. We've talked so much about Stan Terlecki and his absence and the fact that the team is trying to get back to the old style of soccer that carried him so well last year. I think they've done it pretty much in the first half.
They have, John, and the one thing we're forgetting is players' pride. I think these guys want to prove to the fans that there was more to the team than Stan Terlecki. I think players like Dave Hagen, Charlie Green, Paul Child know that they can score goals in their own right, and they feel the pressure, and they wanted to show these people, at least right away at the start, that they can still get some goals to do the job out on the field, and they did do that in the opening half of play.
Well, John Paul hit the nail on the head when he talked about Steve Jungle, too, and let's credit Adam Topolsky, who has been in his lap and his back pocket, one side or the other, the whole first half. He has done his job thus far.
You have to foul Steve Jungle, too, and you have to get support because to play Jungle one-on-one is a very difficult assignment, but if you look at the score sheet, Jungle has not been a factor. He was not a factor in the previous 2 games.
games, although Pittsburgh did lose them. So they still have to find another way to beat San Diego. Even though you shut him down, there's a lot of great talent out there.
Well, that's a good point, because 3-1 is not going to be the final score here this afternoon. I can almost guarantee you that. We have another 30 minutes of soccer yet to go, and we have more halftime activity coming up from here in the Civic Arena. Which one is it? Steve Buttle, the player, or Steve Buttle, the coach? John Paul Delacamera had a chance to visit with Steve and his lovely wife, Jan.
Last October, this ball had a special meaning for Steve Buttle as he entered another preseason training camp for the Pittsburgh Spirit. Later on, this ball took on a more significant meaning when Steve Buttle added the title of assistant coach.
There's a slight difference, but I don't think it's suddenly one day you're a Steve Buttle the player, and suddenly you're the authoritarian coach, you know. You don't come in there with a heavy hand. I think I'm just trying to be myself. Obviously, there are certain reasons why John picked myself for the job. He doesn't want me to be anything different than what I was. So, you know, the personality that I had as a player, hopefully, can just carry over to being on the coaching side. Obviously, I knew a little bit before John was going to appoint me, and obviously I didn't want to say anything, but I thought John handled it really well. Rather than just naming me assistant coach and slinging me in the deep end, he kind of let me feel my way into it and see if I liked the job. Obviously, he had to see whether I could do the job as well. I've been in professional soccer now for 17 years, you know, since I was 15 years old. So therefore, I think I work well with younger players, you know, young Americans that we're going to hopefully bring into the team and who are going to be stars in the future. So I think that's one of my strengths. I'm enjoying it. It's, you know, it's funny that I was never a player that always was around the offices. You know, I always let the people in the office get on with their job. But lately, I think I've been in the office more in 2 weeks than I'd been in 3 years.
The added responsibility of assistant coach meant a different role at home for both Jan Buttle, the housewife, and Jan Buttle, the business lady.
Well, he's not at home as much, is the first big fact. He still sticks to the same routine as if he was a player. He still likes, you know, quiet on the day of a game and no stress and, you know, that type of thing. He still eats the same as if he was a player. I had a hobby as an engraver, and so it gradually moved on from just being a hobby to where friends wanted me to do things, and then friends of friends wanted me to do things, and gradually it became a business. I learned it from my father, who's in England. He does it. It's kind of a European craft that's just started up over the last 10 years. I do two types. I hand engrave with like a drill, and I sand engrave with a machine. That is not quite as skilled as the hand engraving, but it's still engraving. Say I was going to hand engrave something. I would draw out a design first on some paper. Then from that, I would draw it onto the glass. You know, I have then the artwork to work from on the glass. I then outline on the glass with a nib that's in the drill, the outline of the design. From there, it depends on the design, but I would maybe take out the glass with a diamond, then maybe rub it back with a rubber tip. Eventually, I would like it to be a good business, but right now, it's still in the home, and I still want to keep it of a size that I can cope. And so, long range, good, but right now, just trying to have it of a size that I can cope with maybe a small bit of help.
There have been a lot of some unusual periods, and certainly the last week with the Stan Terlicki situation has been unusual. Has it created extra pressure on you guys, on the other players on the team?
No, I don't think so. I think it's relieved the pressure, if anything. You know, when you're struggling, you're having a bad season, people want to know why, you know, they haven't really alleviated the situation, but what they've done is try to figure out something, and, you know, if they'd have let it go on any longer, I think it would have just got worse and worse. So the pressure is off a little bit. I won't say it's totally off. Let's just say it's off for now.
Did they actually take a vote among the players on the team about Stan's situation? And wouldn't that be like letting the inmates run the asylum if you really did that?
Well, I want to know who started that rumor. I guess there was only one guy really came back to Pittsburgh, so somehow that rumor got started. I know I didn't start it, so let's just say someone started it for a cause, and it wasn't one of the, I guess, 17 guys that got interviewed. I don't know. So.
Well, in Stan's situation, obviously, once again, he did not fit in. Now, what are you going to do from this point on to try to pick up the pieces and make this thing work as far as the team is concerned?
Well, you know, we're going back to playing the style we've always played. You know, I'd like to say something. It's not that we didn't say to Stan, look, play defense, you know, get out there and do it. We said that. It's not like we didn't give him a chance to try and do it. He didn't want to do it, so, you know, if he doesn't want to play defense, that's fine. But John's philosophy on the game was everyone plays defense. Stan decided he didn't want to do it, and therefore, you know, he didn't fit into the team's plans. It wasn't a matter of, well, he can't do it. They gave him the chance, and he really didn't want to do it. So, you know, I would say we're just going back to our style of playing very defensively and hope to pick up the 5-4 and the 4-3 games like we did last year. I think it's, I think we'll win more games like that than we will 9-8, 10-9. So, you know, if that's what it takes, that's what we have to do to win. We'll do it.
And maybe make the playoffs. It's not out of the question at this point in time. Dave Mackenzie has been my guest here at halftime. We'll be back with the second half of activity from the Civic Arena, the Sockers and the Spirit. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Are to work for Miss Dorothy Packard. One other mention, too, I'd like to remind you that operators are still standing by. If you'd like to charge tickets on MasterCard or Visa, 642-2067 to that family package offering. Pittsburgh versus Minnesota on February 17th, a $48 plus value, yours for $25, and operators are standing by right now as we start the second half of play. Pittsburgh leads over San Diego by the score of 3-1, and remember, there's still a penalty for Pittsburgh for 35 seconds as John Sanders takes you through the third quarter.
And remember, also at the end of the game, John Paul and I will be selecting the offensive and defensive players of the game, our Stroh's offensive and defensive players of the game. And keep the pressure on. Perez drops it in the corner, knocked down by Cap. Mavlik falls on it. It was controlled in the corner by Segota. This is O'Hara now. 13 seconds left on the penalty. Play at midfield. The call will go against San Diego. So the Spirit get a break. Have 11 seconds more to kill off, and then Paul Child, who's serving the bench penalty, will be back on. Mackenzie actually working against Dana there. Marr taken away from him by Segota. Paul Child is on. The teams are even, but Jungle is alone. Saves Mavlik. Another great save by Peter Mavlik. He came out that time to beat Steve Jungle.
Jungle congratulated him as well. You've got to anticipate. We use that word a lot. Watch Wilrich. Jungle behind the defense one of the few times all day, but Mavlik had to be coming out as he saw that ball coming to him. If he doesn't come out, if he stays in the net, Jungle is going to score almost every time, and there's a good look at him. John, in 141 games, he has scored at least a point in 137. That's an amazing statistic.
He averages almost 4 points per game. 4 points per game, and it's not goals, assists and goals. 4 points per game.
He has the longest biographical sketch of any player in this league. They just list all the records he has, and it's totally amazing to think that a player could dominate as much as he did, but he's won 5 straight scoring titles and 5 out of 6 most valuable player awards.
14-19 remaining third quarter. Spirit still leading by 2. They have successfully killed off the penalty, and the Spirit killing the penalty for the 29th time this year. Opponents are 10 of 39 against Pittsburgh. There's a quick move and a goal.
And I believe that one went off of Adam Topolsky. We'll get a chance to look at it, but Jungle may get credit for it. We'll wait and see. That's a big goal for San Diego. And again, tell you one of Pittsburgh's biggest problems, off of set plays. I don't know whether it's they relax a little bit. We won't see it here. The ball played quickly out. Look at, nope, Jungle got it. Adam did not get it. Jungle just put his foot out. And on the replay, we'll see it again, John. Maybe you can verify my statement.
Yep, yeah, he got a piece
Jungle.
of it. Jungle will get his 36th of the year. Segota gets his second assist and 20th, second assist of the game and 20th of the year. And we're just about starting over. It's 3-2. Told you at halftime 3-1 would not be the final. Jungle gets the goal, and the Sockers showing why they're leading the Western Division and certainly a contender for the MISL Championship as they return to the league this year. That goes out of play. 13:55.
constitutes one. It's a corner kick, a set play. It seems like something always happens to them, and a goal is scored by the opposition. It's happened time and time again, and that last goal really brings San Diego back into the game. Even though they've outshot Pittsburgh, they were down by a couple of goals. Now it's just one.
Wilrich will key the play. There's the shot, knocked down in front, rebound, score. Credit the goal to Fernando Clavijo. He banged it in, and John Paul, you were right on the button.
I hope I didn't do that as a jinx, but the time of the goal is going to be 3:50. We'll see what happens here as the ball is played right out quickly. Schmetzer will shoot it. It's blocked in front, but Clavijo was alone. No one closed in on him, and that allowed San Diego to tie it up. So Pittsburgh, in getting 3 goals in that opening quarter of play, may have hurt them more than it has helped them, because for whatever has gone on the field, San Diego has taken charge, and I believe Pittsburgh has called for a timeout here, and wisely so, to discuss the situation.
Clavijo gets the goal. The game is tied. We'll start over when we come back. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit. Mavlik to stop Steve Jungle, who was right on the doorstep.
It's amazing that that ball didn't even go in accidentally, and the way the season's gone for Pittsburgh, that wouldn't have surprised me if it had bounced in, but it did not. It stayed out. Mavlik did a great job.
9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Now back comes Wilrich. On a run, he's got some room, shoots and scores. You could see it coming. San Diego has taken the lead.
Tough spot there. It looked like John O'Hara was caught with 2 players coming back. One guy rushing onward, another guy to his left side. The decision, if you close in on Wilrich, there's an open man on the right-hand side, and if you don't close him, that could happen. Here's the first one. This I still don't believe did not go in. Look at this. Jungle and O'Hara helped out as well. Now watch Wilrich. Vosmeyer's chasing him. We'll see if we can show the other players. O'Hara's starting to come. I was a little bit wrong. Topolsky had Namdar on the other side, but Wilrich was coming at a very good rate of speed with Vosmeyer in pursuit. I thought Johnny got stuck with 2 players back there.
So the goal goes to Wilrich. He picks up his 24th of the year. Sakota has the hat trick and assists. He picks up his 3rd of the afternoon. And Mackenzie is there. 52 seconds to go. In front, Sibbies can't beat Toth. Toth brings it out. 45 seconds to play. All alone on the right side is Quinn. He shoots, knocked away by Mavlik. Mavlik came way out, made the save. And there's going to be the call against Mackenzie.
That's the 6th foul.
That really hurts. It comes with 36 seconds left. Jungle knows how many fouls there are.
Yeah, because they're all, he drew them all, right?
Just about.
Mackenzie going in, I don't know. I would have called advantage right there. Jungle still had possession of the ball. In any respect, you know, it's not too often, John, that you see Wichita with a skilled team as they are blown out of a game. They were blown out by Baltimore today. 8-1 was the final. That's an incredible score, because Wichita, usually in a lot of those close games, as we look at Earhart Cap, Pittsburgh, this is a struggle for them. They've just killed off a penalty in great fashion. The only positive sign is that Kevin Marr can now play on this shorthanded situation. He was in the box just prior to that. I'm amazed. I didn't see Brian Quinn so far open. Mavlik right now, as well as Topolsky has played on Jungle, is the defensive player of the game. He's made several big saves for them. On the set plays, it's where Pittsburgh's been caught. 2 goals coming on set pieces.
Well, we've got a set play right here. It'll be keyed by Segota, who has 3 assists. An early leader in the running for the offensive player of the game, certainly for San Diego. He's been the key to their offense. Dana will drop it back to Toth. Now Toth comes all the way up there because they're in the power play with 30 seconds left. The power play will carry over into the 4th and final quarter. Perez with a blast knocked down in front. Marr will clear it. 18 seconds left, 3rd quarter. It's been all San Diego since the 1st quarter. Dana has got Segota on his right, decides to shoot, knocked down in front. Kevin Marr does not pick it up, as Mackenzie is the one to move it back. Toth playing up near the red line, trying to keep the offense in there. We're going to count down to the end of the 3rd quarter. That's it. It was all San Diego. They scored 3 times. They lead 4-3. We've got the 4th quarter from the Civic Arena coming up. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. 63 for ball day. They're cheering because somebody just won the goal kick. They kicked it in, won $525. We haven't had a winner in our goal getter
right
yet. There's a young man picked up $525, but
he's too young to know what to do with it.
It was not a winning 3rd quarter for the Pittsburgh Spirit. It was all San Diego. Let's go back to the Lord of all indoors, Steve Jungle, who will get the pass. Just get enough of it to beat Peter Mavlik. Came on the set play and made it 3-2. The Spirit still leading by 1. About 3 minutes later, Schmetzer sets up Clavijo on the rebound. He gets the right corner of the net. That makes it 3-3. And John Paul, then came the clincher as far as San Diego was concerned in that quarter, as they went all the way from a 3-0 deficit to a 4-3 lead. And again, it is Segota who will set it up. Wilrich is all you're going to see as he finishes it off, running the length of the field. He was open on that side, was able to get inside Peter Mavlik and make it 4-3.
It's been all San Diego, as you mentioned, after the first. You know, Pittsburgh has only had, John, 10 shots. That's been it.
San Diego with 28 shots on goal, including a total of 13 in the third quarter. So that was the turnaround quarter. We've got to settle some business up with the goal getters too.
Dorothy Packer will win consolation prizes from Armour Meats and Tropicana Juice. And our contestant this quarter, Jean Pasquarello of Pittsburgh. She chooses Ian Sibby. She could win $400 in groceries if Ian Sibby. According to a San Diego spokesman, Dana being talked about for coming to Pittsburgh. Here's Jungle out to Dana. In the corner for Jungle, right through, and a score. Hugo Perez from Steve Jungle on a power play. And one of the things that you notice about a San Diego power play, their men get in great scoring position.
It comes less than a minute into the period. Perez will get it. Now watch Dana as he feeds Jungle. O'Hara comes over. Jungle's going to drop it in front, and that's where Perez is as he gets behind Erhard Kapp, and the ball gets behind the goalkeeper Peter Mavlik.
So for Pittsburgh, Charlie Green on with Ian Sibbies, Erhard Kapp, Adam Topolsky, John O'Hara, and it's backs to the wall time. Spirit are trailing by the score of 5-3. They were really doing a great job defensively in that opening quarter as well as offensively. Defensively, during the flow of the game, they managed to do things well, but on those set plays, those dangerous set plays, Pittsburgh gave up a couple of goals and then a big one for Wilrich on a break running up the field, and that's been all San Diego.
Well, you saw a real good look that time of the San Diego power play and why they're so efficient at it.
That's why they scored almost half their chances. Here come the Sox regularly, but not the way the flow of the game has been going. Here's Mackenzie the other way. Hagen's going to be free, but it's saved. The rebound for Child. He smacked it off the goal post to the near side. So no luck there for the Pittsburgh Spirit. That's twice. Once Hagen, once Child, with chances to either tie it, as was Hagen's case earlier, or the other way around right there to just pull him within one. I think Jungle has gotten a message from the San Diego bench because we've seen him hanging back 3 times now, and that's not the way he started this game. But he may have saved the goal on a rebound from Marr. Here's Mackenzie. Good fake. Right side leads for Charlie. Stop. Paul off the boards. I thought Jungle got his hand on it. There's no call. Looked like a handball from up here. Vosmeyer was arguing for it. I thought Steve Jungle got a piece of that ball with his hand. That would have been a penalty shot. Here's Jungle up the other way. Look out. Brian Quinn is all alone. Mavlik is out. Quinn no angle. Jungle can't get a rebound. Steve Jungle holding it. Left side Dana. The shot blocked by Jungle, but the rebound almost killed. Now it's cleared out of the stands. We go to another break. San Diego leads 5-3. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Another good chance for the Pittsburgh Spirit. Child gets it off the board. It comes back out. Mackenzie keeps it alive. Finally, the save is made by Toth in front. Vosmeyer was working his way in there. Back to live action, John Paul.
Quick shot, Mavlik again, save another one. Schmetzer will score. It may have hit something on its way in, but Brian Schmetzer will score the goal. And for Brian, like Clavillo, he doesn't have too many goals, but this one, only his 3rd goal of the year, may prove to be the kiss of death for the Pittsburgh Spirit. Now, I was going to say earlier, John, when you look at the overall situation, when Brian Quinn was open before he took that commercial break, it's obvious Pittsburgh has had to open things up quite a bit here. They've had to open things up, and it's not the kind of game that they wanted to play, and it has obviously cost them because Brian Quinn was wide open, and actually Pittsburgh was very lucky that San Diego didn't score earlier. Now they're down 6-3. So all the goals that come in the first quarter, Schmetzer unassisted on that goal. We don't have another look at that. I thought it may have tipped off someone on its way in. In deep now, Toth bangs it around the boards. Looked like it was going to be a long afternoon for Zoltan Toth. It doesn't look that way right now. Peter Mavlik kicking it right side, first shift of the night, and in weeks for Z Kapka.
10 games he missed.
Z right side off the boards, deflected by Sibbies. Now Kapka in there working at it, but it goes right back to Zoltan Toth. And a player in the end just landed on Kapka. That's Katakalitis.
He jumped on him is what he did.
Well, Z's not too pleased. Now Katakalitis.
I'll tell you what, he was not even hurt. He jumped up in the air and came down on Z Kapka in the corner. Z was trying to keep it alive.
Worst thing is that he lands on Kapka's injured knee, it looks like. Here's a closer look, John.
Watch, they battle. Now watch this.
The play is stopped.
He just jumps up in the air and falls on him. Nobody touched him, I didn't think.
Well, Zoltan Toth may have been hurt by one of his own players. They're taking a look now.
He did kick him, but now he waits and jumps up in the air.
If the Academy Awards were being given out tonight, there'd be a few serious nominees. Whatever he said to Kapka, Z understood because he was very hot about it.
There he goes down again. Loves to take a dive.
I mean, if you're going to dive, make them look good. Now he's up limping. Bill Maxwell is taking him out. Look at the look at his face.
He's giving him
for
a
bad
penalty.
acting. I think that penalty is for bad acting.
Well, I think it's well deserved. Bill says that's enough of that nonsense.
Bill says, don't try to upstage me. This isn't the Emmys. There's John Kowalski. He'll be looking at a power play. His team needs a goal so desperately, John, to get things on track. I see Kapka looking. I hope they haven't taken both players off, but I see, well, Z's walking over there. They may have taken them both. With 8:48 remaining in the game.
Katakalitis is still down on the ground.
How did he get back down there?
Well, he decided to take another rest. He was leaving the field. He got the penalty.
He didn't trip over that white line, did he? That's hard to believe.
So Z was on for what, maybe 20 seconds there?
I'll tell you what. I know he's up and limping, but boy, that was amazing. 8:48 left in this one. A reminder, if you like that whole discount package on February the 17th, it's when Pittsburgh plays Minnesota. That's February 17th, the Sunday afternoon. You can have a $48 plus value for just $25. You get the 4 tickets to the game, the 4 hot dogs, the 4 Cokes, tub of popcorn, and free parking for just $25. You can charge those tickets now with a MasterCard or Visa card by calling 642-2067. 642-2067. Katakalitis will limp off the playing field, and he's not very popular in Pittsburgh this afternoon. Pittsburgh
Perez
needs
is
a big
going
goal, though, here.
Perez is going to serve the penalty, I believe, and they're going to let him go ice down that severely injured leg, obviously. Trouble, and that's the way it turned out.
Here comes trouble right there. Segota was free behind the defense, off the boards, broken up, and he's got an easy goal. That made it look too easy. It's 7-3, San Diego. There's no problem with the Pittsburgh offense on that.
Segota, no doubt, locking up the offensive player of the game with this move.
I'll give it to him right now.
Watch how he keeps the ball alive, and once he's in there, school is out.
Bronco Segota will get credit for the goal. Tell you what, there was a lot of open space, and you've got to say that Pittsburgh just had to fall asleep on it team-wise. It's 4-on-4. You've got to know that there's that much space out there, and to let a dangerous player like Segota go, that was trouble right away. Segota from Toth, so it actually started out right from goal.
So Toth closing in on that record for assists, picks up another one, John Paul.
Yeah, one away. Topolsky with the right side, taking a shot. That was almost knocked in by San Diego. Ball cleared upfield to the near side.
Some of the 11,000 fans head for the exits. This is 7-4 San Diego. Boy, they just blistered the spirit since the first quarter.
I never like to call a game until it's over, and I'm not going to say that this one's over, but I wouldn't be the first person to wave these people from heading to the parking lot because it does not look good. Wilrich with it. That entire field was open, and for Zoltan Toth to throw a ball or get the ball that far.
Here's another one.
And here's a similar situation for Crow. Off the goalpost. Along the near wing side. Charlie Green will now come away with it. Green looking for Ian Sibbies. Sibbies on the right side for Topolsky. Adam holding it. He's looking for Sibbies. So is our Giant Eagle contestant. It's banged out to O'Hara, shot wide. Along the near wing side boards. Just cleared up by Segota. Look at that quick change for Jungle. He comes on and gets the ball. Is that a set play or what? Now we've got a whistle from somewhere else. Ron Newman screaming on the bench, and I must have missed something. Must have missed something. We'll have to wait and see. Look at Ron Newman. Ron Newman is giving a signal, which is eyes in the back of your head. So he must have caught something.
And a delay of game penalty.
Yeah, I wonder if they were saying that it was an illegal substitution. I wonder when Segota came towards the bench, he still had the ball. If Jungle had not gone out in the field first, I think that might be the initial call, but we'll have to wait and see. And Newman was giving it, you've got eyes in the back of your head. That was a signal, as I interpreted it from here. That is not a soccer signal, John. I think that's a universal signal for soccer and hockey and other sports that are played at that level. I think they may have caught San Diego. When you're changing like that, there's no unwritten rule. Let's see if we can see it. Segoda's over there. Can we see Jungolo? I think he was already out there.
Now you can see Topolsky motioning from behind that there was an illegal substitution.
Okay, it's 7-3 San Diego and a power play for Pittsburgh. When we return, you're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Bronco Segoda can put it in the net. Even Brian Schmetzer's got in on the act today.
I was going to say, yeah, Clavillo, Schmetzer. Here's Topolsky wearing the 6th attacker goalkeeper's jersey. And John's just experimenting here because I don't recall Adam playing in this situation. Normally it's O'Hara or Vossmeyer. 33 seconds are left. And then a real nightmare will be over for the Pittsburgh Spirit. It's bad enough to lose the 3-goal lead like they did, but here at home before a large crowd and on TV, here's an O'Hara shot blocked. Jungle won't get it. Topolsky's shot went too high. Adam again, and that also went too high, but it goes out of play. A Jungle